we are just pictured, we are trained to picture
Exactly.
African men
Yes.
to sit with a cigar
Yes.
while the wife is cooking.
Yes.
But that's
But-
not true.
Glory and Zippora.
Yeah.
Do you encourage, for example, an African man who is married to an African woman?
Yep.
Do you encourage them to still have God's principles like their foundation of their relationship?
My
I think,
friend,
yes. I
nothing
mean,
will work in their relationship if the guy's principle is not there. It's like the whole first thing ever that they can do for their marriage, first build their foundation on
So
the guy's principle.
What you guys are trying to say is that whatever you are from, whatever you meet,
Mhm.
you should have God as the foundation of the relationship.
yeah.
Sure.
Doesn't
I want to tell you one thing
Yes.
about our relationship that
Mhm.
keep us here together today. If we are here today, is because we chose God first before
Mhm.
anything else. Because
Mhm.
we love worship. We love worship so much,
Mhm.
but we got caught up one point in the in the society's need, the needs of society. You have bills, you have all this incasso
Yeah.
coming inside your
Yes,
door,
yes.
and you panic a little bit. But
Yeah.
we find ourselves fading away from God.
Mm.
Why? Because there's so much need for this society for us,
Mhm.
So you need to work. Some of you need to study and work the same time. Some of you
Mhm.
need to do this and that. Some of you have two jobs.
Yes.
So you want to pay your bills. You want to make sure you have a home. You want to make sure, things are moving forward for you financially,
Mhm.
and everything.
Mhm.
But then we find ourselves fading away from each other,
Mhm.
and she start being unhappy. I'm
Mm.
start being unhappy.
Okay.
Because we come back home late, we sleep, and then we come back together. Not even us, only but our auntie, who she's not even let me say she's not a Christian.
Mhm.
She even saw that in her heart they were lacking something,
Mm.
and that's worship. And you
Mm.
tell her,
Mm.
why don't you worship?
Mhm.
Because when you do worship,
Yes.
you're happy and things work out better.
Mhm.
And then we made a decision together. Because as I said, this woman is intellectual and she likes to study a lot. And
Mhm.
she's even wanting to do some extra study, extra courses.
Yeah.
And for me, it was more important that no matter how much busy life we're going to have, one thing is for sure, we will always have time to sit together with the guitar and worship God.
Okay. So as long as God has that first place, the two of you works very nice.
Without
Yeah.
God, we won't be there.
You
And
know what I
encourage
noticed?
all the yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's whenever we follow God is
Yeah.
the time you take to let all the surroundings be quiet, and you
Mm.
just you look at your own hearts, and you just when I worship, I put everything out, and it's just me and God. Means that when you start worshiping, you notice that in the beginning it's hard because there's so many things pulling on your brain, and you think there's so many things that are needed. But once you get that peace inside of your heart,
Mhm.
and you focus on God, I really think that He made it special because I really believe that God made us as worshipers
Yeah.
to connect with ourselves, like who we are, to be in
Mm.
peace, to be in whole,
Mm.
and out of that, giving back to God the love that He gives us.
Mhm.
If I have that peaceful heart and a peaceful mind, then I can also look at Him better.
Yes.
Because then if He does the same, you're more kind of focused,
Mhm.
quiet.
Yep.
You're more to what you're feeling or how you're doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I really think it's beautiful.
Exactly.
So, and also to say we are not fighting to follow a religion. We're not
Mhm.
trying to follow
The
a
rules.
sort of rules of Christian
Yeah.
religion,
Mhm. Mhm.
but we're trying to ask each other questions like,
Mm.
how can we be loving and respectful to each other?
Mm. Mm.
That's really
Yes.
the main.
And
basis.
before we close up,
Mhm.
I have one more question for you guys. Ooh, be prepared to answer this one.
It's kind of in Dutch we say spannend.
Mm-hmm.
It's very spannend.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, you met each other and you were in love and you knew that you are meant to be each other. Why you didn't just live together and not have that commitment of being married? You know,
Yeah.
we we're in
was
Europe,
easy.
my friend. We're
That's
in
true.
Europe, and you don't need to have that commitment.
True.
You just find a woman or you find a guy, and then you just cohabiting together.
That's true.
I mean, why didn't you guys do that? Why did you get that step of being married when you just knew that you're meant to be together?
I think for us it was we had a few reasons, and reason number one was um, we wanted to be true to ourselves first, because we can't go being true to people
You mean
without being true to
if
ourselves.
you don't commit yourself to a woman, you're not true with yourself?
I mean, seriously, if you want to say that this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and then you're saying you want to marry the person, but then you're trying to say like, okay, no, we can live together first before we get married. I'm pretty sure you're lying to yourself, because once you make a step into that kind of life, it's going to be hard to get out of it. And the truth for us was, we knew we were going to spend the rest of our life together. So, waiting was worth it. It was worth it.
It was so easy to
Yeah.
go and live together because we had so many challenges. Like he got in the hospital,
I
had
had
to
an
take care of
accident,
him, stuff like that. But we still wanted to follow the principle, and I think it's also for me as a woman. I made a decision before I even met him to be true to myself, to say like, I'm worth enough that a person can wait for me, or he can value me enough to make a big decision instead of using me and then throwing me in the garbage and say goodbye. I had enough of you.
Why will you encourage people to be married? You know, to have that commitment.
Because I mean, I'm not gonna compare what the world say about this and that, because at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide what is true or not.
Yeah.
But one thing I can tell you for sure is that it makes life so much easier, so much better. I mean, there's a challenge in there, but I can promise you those challenges that are there, they are not compared to the challenge that you have by yourself. Because the challenges that are in there, they are not your challenge, but they are our challenge. So when I face trouble, I don't face it alone, I face it together. And living half, like one leg is in the want to be married, the other leg is that I want to be out. It's completely wrong. But once your heart, you know that when you know you're commit, even in your job, when you have like a full-time contract, you know that I belong here. But when you have like a part-time contract, you have that tendency of saying that, yeah, I don't belong yet, so I can still be kicked out anytime. You are insecure. It's the same thing with marriage, because most people, because of insecurity, they choose to live together without, because they're like, yeah, I'm not sure I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Look, you're snoring the nights, you're right now don't have the job, you have a bike, you know, it's like, but if you love somebody, you're going to say that, you know what, you snore, but it sounds like a music in my ear. I want to spend the rest of my, not yours, but I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm not sure if you snore or not, but you know. But that's what I'm trying to say is this. It's just about that commitment, because once you say that, this is the person for me, what's stopping you from waiting for that person? What's stopping you from spend the rest of my life with the person? Because for the lady, it's more worse when a man leaves. Because for us, you know, we can have sex all you want and we wash off and you go. But for the woman, they spend the rest of their life remembering this man, remembering that, and it's more hurtful. And most of men knows it, and then they still choose to misuse it.
One thing is true, that that people that have committed themselves in marriage before, and after some years, 10 years, 15 years, they end up divorcing.
Because you don't know what marriage
is. You know, that gives maybe a picture to young people. It gives them that, you know, they become afraid to commit themselves in a marriage, and that's why I think most of people, they just choose to cohabiting because of the things they see. You understand? People that committed themselves in front of the church, in front of the priest,
and still divorced.
Until death do us apart, right? But along the road, the divorce.
Even leaders nowadays do divorce.
Exactly. Well, there's really different reasons why
people divorce.
And one thing I know, that the Bible allows it if you cheat.
Only, that's right.
If you cheat.
Adultery or death.
Then you can separate, right?
Yeah.
But we are living in a generation or in a culture where, I mean, you're not kind to me, you're not good to me. I just break up with you, my friend.
Yeah, why?
Divorce.
Because the government make it so easy for us as well
Mhm.
to make that decision. And also, when I come back, because I say because you don't know what marriage is,
Yeah.
but that means is that you don't know the reason why you got married.
Mm.
Because when you get married, because for some reason people are coming in the country and they want to stay in the country,
Mhm.
and the only way they can get a green card or visa or whatever
Mhm.
is to getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get married to the person you don't know first of all,
Mhm.
and then after you're just gonna grow away from each other and then you decide to divorce. Maybe you were even a Christian,
Mhm.
you're very serious, a leader. On the other hand, you realize that it's not working out. You're
Mhm.
obliged to divorce. Why do we make a decision in the first place to get married without
Mm.
knowing
Mm.
what it is that's combined, the
Mhm.
constitution of marriage? What is marriage exactly?
Mm.
Because if you understand what is marriage, we won't take it like just a piece of paper.
Lightly,
We
exactly.
won't take it
Mhm.
lightly. No.
Mhm.
But maybe also people, they get married a lot of times because the surroundings pressure them so
Yeah.
much.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would encourage people to really stay true to themselves and through to God. Like,
Mhm.
say, who is it that I really want to be?
Yeah.
And can I commit myself to another person
Mhm.
being everything except
Yeah,
for being
yeah,
selfish?
So
So
true.
you give to another person.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you can stay yourself, but. And for me, the one thing that also helped was really to know that it is a possibility that we might divorce. And it sounds really weird, but to me, it really helps to not. In Holland, we have this saying that you put your head in the ground,
Mhm.
think like nothing is gonna happen. I think we have to take things realistically.
Mhm.
If I don't work on my marriage, if I don't work on a relationship that I have with Glory,
Mm.
if I don't respect him enough or build on respect and love,
Mhm.
then there is a possibility that we would end up divorcing.
Mm.
So I
true.
take it as a daily job
Mm.
to be in a relationship with him and to honor and respect him for who he
Yeah,
is and
yeah.
try to make most out of his life, and I hope he does the same for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you mean is that before someone step into marriage, they need to understand what marriage is.
Principle of marriage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They need to understand that
Yeah.
because we are lacking that in our generation.
It's
There's
true.
no place where you go and you get studies of marriage.
Right. Or there's no one to speak in your
Yeah,
life and tell you
exactly.
this is what marriage is.
Yeah.
Because now young people, we think I know everything, you know.
Mhm.
And if I don't know anything, I just
Yeah.
Google it and I'll
Yes.
get the answer.
Yes.
But we don't understand that if you can ask somebody who has more experience than you,
Mhm.
Mm.
who give you more information
Mhm.
and one simple words, and then you're Googling it.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Thanks so much for coming.
No problem.
Thank you
Anytime.
for inviting
I
us.
really appreciate that you're here. It has been really nice to have you
Yeah.
on this talk show.
It's our pleasure to
Yes,
serve.
thanks so much.
Mm.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we close this, just one thing. You know, when you're building up a house, you don't build up the house first and then build the foundation first. You build the foundation and then you build the house at the end.
So
Do you
true.
agree with me on that?
So
Yes.
true.
And it's the same with the relationship. You want to succeed, build up a foundation first before you build up the house. Stay in tune and see you next time. Thank you so much.